I was just in Charleston, South Carolina the other day at a veteran employment fest with the lieutenant governor and my counterpart from the Department of Employment and Workforce. We were talking to veteran employers. I will tell you, employers get this already. They want veterans to come work for them. And I mean, this is sometimes we got to remind the veteran you're in a buyer's market in some areas. You got to have some flexibility where you're going to live, those kind of things. But the reality is, employers figured this out a long time ago, because veterans bring three things to the workforce that is great raw material. Transitioning service members are disciplined because of the military service. They know how to work on a team, and they've demonstrated the ability of being trained on skills they did not have before they entered the military. And I don't care whether you're running a body shop, an auto body shop, or whether you're building F-16 fighters, or whether you're producing clothing. The fact of the matter is, you want employees who have demonstrated discipline, who are team oriented, and can be trained. And that's great raw material for veterans, which is why I think veteran unemployment lags the national average. Our unemployment is lower than the average citizen. We know veterans vote at a higher rate. We know veterans give to charity at a higher rate. We know that veterans in academic settings perform better than non-veterans. So the fact of the matter is, there's tons of data out there that shows that veterans contribute more than they consume after they transition. Sometimes we just have to convince the veteran that they're in that market. Sometimes it's not the employers, it's the veteran, who I think sometimes veterans recognize their own potential. And then, just be fair, a veteran's got to have some flexibility. If you make the decision, hey man, I'm going home to, I'll use rural South Carolina. I'm going home to some small town in rural South Carolina. That's just where I'm going to go. You maybe challenge finding employment there, because that's not where the employers are. But if you're willing to go to a place where there's active employment, and I'll put a plug in for my state. Our state's growing leaps and bounds in manufacturing and research and other things. And there are jobs there for veterans, but you got to be willing to do the same things that you did in the military. You've got to be willing to offer yourself up for additional training or new training, reskilling, take advantage of your VA benefits. In many cases, that's a great opportunity for reskilling, take advantage of VA programs on those. And in many cases, you'll find my state's one of them, where there's all sorts of programs in the tech college system that have given veterans the ability of upskilling or reskilling to get employment. So I'm bullish on veteran employment, because I watch it all the time, and I hear from employers all the time who are saying, "Man, where can I track down more veterans?" Because they bring in, they show up on, it's basic stuff. They show up and work on time. They understand I'm supposed to report formation 07. They're there at 6:55. They know how to work on a team. They're not swimming upstream against other guys. They're used to that process. And man, no one joined the Army knowing how to drive a tank. No one joined the Air Force knowing how to hang a bomb on an aircraft. Those were skills you learn once you got into the service. The military does a great job of training them, but industry does too. And industry is looking to reduce costs, and the way they reduce costs is, if I can upskill this guy or gal quickly, I reduce my costs. That immediately results in a profit, or reduce costs for the industries. Yeah, listen, veteran employment is a huge deal, and it's I'm going to use my state. We are about 100,000 vacant positions in South Carolina, and there ain't 100,000 veterans to fill those jobs. But I want to tell you what, the ones that come here, employers are looking for them, because they are quote money for sure for firms.